Hey, this is Nick the Mining Book Guy. It is the evening of Saturday, November 17th, 2018. This is a fourth video on Mundoro in 2018, but it will be the shortest by far because I'm headed to the London one-to-one conference tomorrow. We'll head to London tomorrow. It's next week, and this is a Mundoro Link Fest, as the title says, and really, there's just been a lot of awesome news and media that I felt I needed to share. But if there's only one thing you get out of this, it is the very first link. So here we go. If you haven't seen this fantastic podcast from Capitalist Exploits, but specifically the new Resource Insider newsletter, I guess this is all kind of together, you must listen to this. This will be the first piece of media that I share with anyone in the future that doesn't know anything about Mundoro and they want the best background in one place. It's a doozy. It's over an hour long, but it's well worth your time. Fantastic questions from Jaime Keach, fantastic answers from Teodechev, the CEO of Mundoro. Could not recommend this more highly. And you can access it through this link. All these links will be below the YouTube video, but I would also encourage you to access it through the iTunes link because this is an easy way to see all the episodes so far, and there will be more. And I just wanted to add an additional shout out that these last three were particularly good. Simon Ridgway, Nolan Watson, Teo, completely different backgrounds, all really fascinating stories, and I can't wait to see more from Jaime on exciting people in the mining industry. Moving on, this is directly from Joe Mazumdar's Twitter account. Joe runs Exploration Insights with Brent Cook, and this is notable because Joe was on some site visits. This is from November 7th. And what was most important here is that in response to someone, he said, going to Serbia and Bulgaria. I'm excited about that because I know that Joe and Brent follow Mundoro. This is from a PowerPoint. Not everyone realizes this. Everyone who subscribes to Exploration Insights does. I'm not a subscriber, but I hear these things over time. But this is not, I don't think it's like a top topic, but who knows? This site visit's going to say a lot, and the fact that it's Serbia and Bulgaria is very exciting to me. I'm hoping to be able to get some information there, but I wanted to note that don't forget about Bulgaria. So anyway, that's something to look out for if you're a subscriber. It's not necessarily going to be a super positive, but if it is, yeah, people are going to really start paying attention to Mundoro. And related to the Bulgaria point, this was another great presentation from Teo from the Precious Metals Summit in Zurich just a few weeks ago. I think just before that site visit was taking place. But my favorite section of this video was about 10.5 minutes in. For just like 3 minutes or so, there were more details on Bulgaria than many of the previous presentations. Bulgaria is a very important wild card for 2019. I guess there's not really much else to say there. There is a PowerPoint that goes with this video. I just recommend definitely focusing more on that aspect for this presentation. And it's probably something I will touch on more as we get into the next year. But back to Serbia, there was the 8th International Conference in Serbia this year. Nobody I'm aware of has commented on this. This is a big deal. I believe 300 people attended. And it's really the speakers that were most important. Now, Teo's been going to this for years, and I think it's just getting bigger and bigger. I don't believe they had as many ambassadors as this year, though. Ambassador of Canada to Serbia, Great Britain, Australia, Finland. Super important to realize because it's not just China that's kind of taking over Serbia. There's still a huge interest from the West. And this, to me, solidifies that. And I'm just super excited about Serbia continuing to emerge as a mining hotspot. Now, in addition, this isn't the best link, but there are video clips only 2 or 3 minutes long, and they're not all in English. This is the Australian ambassador to Serbia, but this was a link that I found that might be of interest to you to give you a taste of what they were talking about. So just something to check out below. And finally, in the Mundoro room, you can see that Dapper Dodger, a nice person who writes occasionally, asked me if I was a buyer at these levels. And I said I would probably comment on that in this brief video, which you are listening to right now. I guess to continue to keep it brief, the last 3 months, Mundoro's held up quite nicely compared to a lot of other juniors. But I did start selling in September, October before some of the exciting Jogmec and Freeport drilling news came out, partially because I was a little worried that I was in over my head and I was already sitting on profits, but also because my broker quite correctly nudged me to sell some of my shares. Now, keep in mind, it still makes up over 20% of my portfolio despite taking quite a few profits. Coincidentally, my other large holding is Adriatic Metals, which is in Bosnia, also in the Tethyan Belt, and I actually have more cash than I've had in quite a long time. So I am very happy with my position. I would maybe buy back in on weakness before these results, but the key is that exciting results are expected to come in February from 2 projects. There's other stuff going on, and I would just emphasize that I'm in a very different situation from someone who doesn't own any Mundoro at all. And I mean, I would say it feels like a no-brainer to recommend someone to own at least some Mundoro if they're looking for exciting pre-discovery plays that are not expensive. I would not call this dirt cheap, but to kind of finish this video off, I have no qualm saying I think the Freeport deal is worth about 10 million in enterprise value. The Jogmec deal on its own is worth about 10 million, and I'm thinking in Canadian dollars. And then on top of that, we're not even talking about Bulgaria yet. And Bulgaria might not lead to anything. There's still, I think the political situation or the jurisdiction risk situation go either way. But man, if Bulgaria works out, or if there's a new JV, or if there's anything else, I mean, this will be still considered like, why didn't I own some at the end of this year? There's no reason for me to really pump this to you. I just think that it would be silly to not own at least some Mundoro compared to so much of the other questionable pre-discovery juniors out there that are being pumped. I would guess there couldn't be more than 2 or 3 other companies that would look as good as Mundoro in a risk-reward basis. All right, I really need to get ready to go to London now. Thanks for listening, and I will probably have a nice little update for you from the London 1-to-1 a few weeks from now. Thanks for listening. Bye.